Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. And the cat's like, I'm out of here. He's starting. No. All right. Well, greetings, everybody. How are we all doing today? We're going to have a look at PearlLinux OS. This was a requested video from a supporter at patreon.com/TomM, or you can head on over to thinklifemedia.com. And I am also monitoring comments on the Discord server right now as well. Let's see. The Quantum Alpha says, is it live or is it Memorex? Raise your hand if you still remember those commercials. Let's see. Lots of references. Yeah, you know. Other was Orion Pictures. Yeah, you know. All right, and let's see who is over here today on our comments on YouTube here. We got Moonbase Alpha Grays. Greetings. How is the Moonbase doing today? We're hovering up there. Are hovering up above the Earth interfering with the surveillance up there? Because, yeah, we don't want to be infected with that crazy Kung flu. So every time we are not directly on the show, we're up there in space because, man, we have wonderful disinfectant out there. Just take any object and just push it out in the cold of space for a second. Awesome. Linux Daily, hello there. Greetings, Any Creature Morph. How's it going? Yu-Gi-Oh! Master, how's it going there? Xavier, how's it going there? From Portugal. CJ is too lazy to talk in the microphone. Yeah, well, you know, he was purring in the microphone. Purring. Hello, Greece. Papa Cezanne, how's it going there? This OS still exists, not maintained since 2016. Well, no, their website sucks. The website says latest update August 28th, but actually the latest ROM release was only a couple months ago. Their website is in horrible shape, missing a lot of things and stuff like that. But no, the distro itself, I'm actually going to be looking at the Perl desktop environment based on Ubuntu 1904. Or no, I don't know. It's either 1904 or it's 1910. Well, I think it's 1910. It's whatever it's currently supported. We'll have a look at it. I'll verify which one we have. And then there's a bunch of 1804s in there as well. So the distro's still there. It's the website that needs some help. Can you not delete the live streams you do? I don't delete the live streams. They go hidden. If you follow along on any of the social media accounts, you can still get the links to all of those as they are linked on the social media. And many of those are public. So like Twitter, you can access the Twitter account without having a Twitter account yourself. So you can get the links for those. The live shows on the news are always linked to the articles that are on switchedtolinux.com, so you can find those. But if you see on social media, we'll have the links for the live streams. Those don't go away. I hide them because hour-long videos that are just streaming videos generally don't have a very good view count, and I edit out the important part and put those up. So, Wanton Wolf, hello there. Robson, greetings. Hello, Serge. Let's see. Hey, Broove. How's it going there? Let's see. Thought so. Yep. Greetings from France. All right. PDE is the Perl desktop. Yes, they have their own desktop environment on this thing. I can't decide if I like it or not. Okay. Live streams get the chat footage cut out to keep it clean. I have the option to do that, but there's no setting that I have to automatically do that. And usually that's the case. Can we have a PearlOS with an unshaven Tom? I'm not super unshaven today, just mostly unshaven. Let's see. Yeah, you can also, if you're on the Discord server, the live videos do stay up on the Discord server as well. Let's see. Let's see, anybody else over here? Username on Discord, and that's the last thing hearing that. Wait, what? Said your username on Discord. Wait, what? What did I say? What? I don't understand. My brain's not working. Anyway. Yeah, don't copy the floppy. Wait, what? We got some bad old tech stuff going on the Discord server right now, so kind of crazy. Do I distro hop? I do not. The media PC's the one that usually would hop, but it's actually been on Arch for about over a year now, and I'm probably not going to change it anytime soon. What I used to do is just change the distro, and run it for a couple weeks or a month or so. I'm not opposed to doing that again. I might just keep this drive here and maybe log into those for half a day or something. I don't know. I could probably do that again and probably should do that again. But the current workflow systems that I have, I do not like distro hopping because I don't want to mess up workflows, and a lot of things I do are a little bit more complicated. So, but I do a lot of distro testing though. About PearlOS privacy. I don't know anything about the PearlOS privacy. So I don't know. We'll have a look at it. We'll see what we think. Kali changed from GNOME to XFCE. That's cool. All right. Let's see. At 68 folks on right now. Let's go ahead and just jump on over. Do you use WordPress for designing websites? Yes and no. I've been steering as many projects as I can away from WordPress because the WordPress developers have lost their ever-loving mind. First is they put out this Gutenberg as the default text editor that is a giant, colossal mess based on, this is Active.js, I think, and it's this giant JavaScripty buggy mess that is nearly impossible to use. Half the time doesn't update your posts, all sorts of weird messes. And then the latest update to WordPress, which is, I think, 5.3.2, the entire thing now uses so much front-end JavaScript, I'm finding that I've had about a half a dozen WordPress websites break for the first time in a long time break because core is doing something stupid, which is just... And it's just becoming this giant bloated mess that's excessively slow on the front end and on the back end. And so I've been steering a lot of the CMS needs that we have over to Joomla, but we still use WordPress on places where it makes sense. It is faster and more user-friendly to get up and running with WordPress. So usually what I'm doing right now is I'm doing it as a stopgap for projects. So I'll throw up a WordPress site while I work on the development of a Joomla site, which is a lot more powerful and a lot faster and a lot better in many ways. Unless, there's a reason to do just a static site or whatever else. It kind of depends on what your purpose is. So, yes, I do, but I'm steering many projects away from that at this point in time. Think about why Windows 10 updates mess up lately. Because they're tracking everything and collecting a giant dragnet. Do you intend to do more Arch installers in the future? I might. I don't know for sure. Yeah, Moonbase Alpha can turn invisible at times of need. Yeah, you have to hold your breath, though, and take off your pants. Raise your hand if you get that reference. Gutenberg is a giant mess. All right, we're going to stop here. We'll get back to the rest of the comments after we are done. So we'll get back to the comments in a bit. Let's go ahead and jump on over and look at PearlOS OS. Let me be discussing. All right, morning clear up. Okay. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, as a Patreon supporter request, we are going to have a look at PearlOS OS. So patreon.com/TomM or thinklifemedia.com. Both of those are good ways to support the channel. I think that was a Think Life Media supporter, actually. But anyway, hey, I don't have a banner for that. I got one for this. But anyway, PearlOS. So this person was looking for something that's more like has a more Mac-y feel, more used to Mac. And so this is one that came up in the list, and he said, hey, let's have a look at this one because it is supposed to resemble some Mac stuff. Now, based on the scrolling screenshots here in this excessively old website that, well, hold on. Somebody's calling. Oh, 2010, you want your website back? Well, you'll have to talk to them, not me. All right. Yeah, 2010 called. They want the website back. I know. The website is old. It's not mobile responsive. It's really bad. And it does say here latest update, August 2016. That's not the latest update for the distro. The distro is actively being developed. It's just the website is an abominable mess. Like, for example, they have the user manual over here, which apparently is not found. So there are definitely some fundamental issues with what's going on the site, and I'm finding that the distro has some things kind of much the same. It is, to what I understand, it's a one-person project, and it's an impressive amount of work for a one-person project. So we want to give credit where credit is due. If we head on over to the releases, the latest release was back in December based on Pantheon. So we have a Pantheon build. We have a Mate build. We have Perl Pro is based on Mate or Cinnamon. So this one here, if you log into Mate if you want like a more Mac type feel, and you log into Cinnamon if you want more of a, like a Windows type feel. However, one of the things that I did notice on the site is if we notice over here, we're on the AMD 64 and we click on this guy here, it takes us to a 32-bit thing. Now, I think this is actually a 64-bit built incorrectly, unless my virtual machine can support both 64 and 32 on this one system, but I'm not sure. It does tell me all in the installer it's 32, so I'm not sure if these are both 32s because they're both, say, 32. So I'm not completely sure if that really is a 64 or if it's a 32 or what this one happens to be, but that's the one that's actually, I have that installed. We have a point release. We have one with GNOME and Nemo. We have a GNOME, a basic GNOME. We have another basic GNOME. So one of these is 64, 32, I hope. We have a Studio, presumably like an Ubuntu Studio. And this one here is the Perl desktop. So I have the 1904. So it is actually a little out of date. But that's the one because I wanted to have a look at the Perl desktop. And I also installed the Mate and Cinnamon desktop as well. So I'm guessing maybe he's dropping the Perl desktop and going with Pantheon. Not sure. But you can actually come on here and grab all the versions of it back to, I guess, version 2. So we're going to be having a look here at the Perl Desktop 8, which is based on 1904, which is out of support at this point in time. So I thought I had one that was still in, but I did want to look at that Perl Desktop environment. So with that, let's go ahead and log on into the virtual machine and see what we are looking like. I was having issues where it does not seem to remember the screen resolution on the original boot. This Perl desktop is based on XFCE and it's one more. It's either LXQT or it's LXDE, I forget. But it's based on a couple of those. And so I found that anything based on XFCE in a virtual machine does not tend to keep its screen resolution on the reboot. So that's not a criticism of the distro itself. That just seems to be something involved in the just in the desktop environment itself. So let's go ahead and head on over to the desktop view while this guy loads up, and we'll see what we got. It usually loads quicker than this. Hopefully it loads. I did actually log into this a couple of times. I was going to say, maybe the clam is waiting to make the Perl. I don't know. Come on. Silence for editing purposes. Jeopardy for comedy purposes. Do 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 Bing. All right. Here we are. Okay, so here we have landed on the desktop as I've installed it, and we can automatically see some issues with the theming. We have this nice light gray bar with white text. Isn't it awesome? Look at that. It's the XFCE terminal. Oh, Lord, it's like Mac. It even remembers I closed the terminal, and it still remembers the terminal being there. All right, so here's desktop, here's files, documents, music. Now, let's go ahead and first fix some of that. So... Is it desktop preferences? I can't remember. Okay. So one of the first things that we have here is, let's go ahead and get the themed up. So let's go on into the settings. So I have to say that the theming is definitely, once we fix the text, it's definitely has an intriguing feel to it, which is nice. Let's do appearance and customize themes and icons. We have a lot in here, and I found if you actually do the PDE, I think it's a PDE dark panel. Maybe that one works. All right. So if you change over to like that PDE dark panel one, now we can actually read what's up here in the text, which is good. Although you can see here that the theming, we have new and we have quit. Look at that. So theming is not particularly all that good. I do like this control center. The way the control center is set up, it's actually very compelling, kind of neat. So that is definitely a cool option. Let's see, let's boot something up here. So let's boot up Firefox. And you can see here that there is definitely some theming issues with this theme. Although it did give us the text that we can see now, you can see that the menus are all cramped, pretty much making that kind of impossible to use. So no, not you. Let's go back to our themes and icons and see if we have something else we can use. Let's apply Yosemite. Oh, that one actually looks like it's going to work. There we are. We'll go with Yosemite because that works. All right, so now if I boot up Firefox, now our menus seem to be working a little bit nicer. All right. So there it seems as though things are working. So it is definitely more skeuomorphic. Most of the window borders seem to be a lot more old Mac-esque. Oh, of course, our pop-ups don't work, though, with that. Those are wonderfully descriptive things there. Maybe that one's not going to work either. Theming is a giant mess. We'll start with that. PDE default? How's PDE default work? Hey, PDE default. Look at this. Menus seem to work. They seem to be functional. I can read everything. All right, we're going to go with that one there. Now if I can find this guy here. Here's our file manager. So you can see our file manager. Again, it has some Mac-like appeal to it, but not really anymore. Like it resembles old Mac more than new Mac. There were some themes that do kind of more resemble new Mac. Now, some of the fundamental issues that we see right off the top. Here inside of our home folder, we have the start menu picture here. We're going to get to the start menu in a second. We have a shortcut to play on Linux virtual drives, never my favorite. Now this guy here is a script to reset Compiz because he really likes Compiz and wanted to make sure the distro has Compiz, but also wants a way to restore it back. This says default wallpaper, even though it's not actually being used. I did actually have the issue where it was trying to load up files from the developer's computer, so that failed. The desktop itself is a mishmash of different things. Look at this. We have the Mint Update Manager, so that's fun. We have a lot of GNOME software, but we have a massive amount of bloat. Is DT on here? DT needs to say this is bloat because, wow, there is so much stuff. And there's not a searchable menu here. Now, there's a way to search applications. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay. And so here we just have, this one here is just your basic stuff. USB writers, things, no big deal. I am not a fan of having anything Wine installed by default. So we have Play on Linux installed. I don't like to see that on default because it introduces the possibility of your system running Windows viruses without you realizing it. We have multiple different, there's multiple archive managers. We have multiple different email clients. So we actually have Sylpheed, and we do have another email client. What's the other one? Emila Pinball, is that? Oh, that's a pinball game. There's at least 2 email clients. Die! Oh my God, what did I do? Close? Kill? Okay, well, apparently we have a pinball thing that's on the screen. I can't seem to kill. Quit? Look, quit's not enough. No! I can't get rid of them. I can't quit the pinball thing. Okay. Here we have a Bible application installed. Again, I'm not a fan of something like Bible software. Even being a Christian myself, I don't want to see Bible software installed on the system unless it's specifically designed for that type of software. Same reason I don't want to see the bookmarks on I don't want to see the bookmarks on MX, or was it not MX? Antix Linux. I don't want to see that kind of stuff in there because if I'm a Christian and I use this, I can install it. No big deal. Unless I'm making one that's a specifically Christian targeted distro in which, hey, have them all on there. That's cool. We do have several games. We have the pinball that will not die. We have several different board games over here. Will the pinball die yet? Quit. Please quit the pinball. Never mind. Okay, graphics. We do have GIMP, we have Inkscape, we have Shotwell, we have MT Paint, we have, never heard of Ether 8, we have Firefox, we have Sylphy, there's Transmission, Pigeon, Office, we have Abbey Word, we have Calendar, Other. Should we read all this or not? It's just a bunch of bloat. There's so much stuff in there. There's some theming stuff. We have Audacity, GVC View. We have Handbrake, Kodi, OBS, Pulse Audio, Volume Control, SM Player, VLC, System Tools, massive amounts of just stuff. We do have Synaptic. Now they have AppGrid is this is their software center. So definitely an interesting thing to see a different type of software center in here. So let's go with browser. So if I wanted to install another web browser, no. Leave Sciences behind. Thank you, browser. NetSurf, there's Epiphany. We already have Firefox installed. Let's see if that tells me we have it. So it does tell us it's installed there. Brave browser. Let's go ahead and see how the installation process works. Okay. Enter my super secret password. That's definitely not 123. So we're installing the Brave browser now, apparently. So that's kind of how this guy works. We'll go ahead and minimize this guy while it's around so that we can see that. Pinball, will you die yet? No, pinball will not die yet, apparently. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Task manager. Pinball. Kill. Yes. Pinball. Kill. Yes. All right, there we go. Pinball died. All right. Now, we do have another grid, which is supposed to be more Mac-like. This is the one where we can do searches for. So if you do want to do some searches, you can come up here and do this. Let's go back under Internet, see if is Brave installed yet? I don't see Brave installed yet. Where'd that software center go? No, not that. I don't know where the software center went. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, well, apparently they want us to find Brave. Is that because it's new, or is that because anything that's not pre-installed is like that? I don't know. Why is Brave so big? Brave is huge. So here we got Brave. All right. Sure, let's just go ahead. No, I don't want to import anything. Just stop. Just keep going, keep going. All right, skip. I don't need a tour. Are we feeling Brave yet? All right. Now let's close down Brave. Let's see, is it still big? It's still big. It's huge. It's massive. They really want me to find the Brave browser, apparently. All right, let's see if it shows up under Internet here as well. Brave browser does show up here. All right, so that's there. Let's see what else we have. So one of the things I noticed, I'm not sure, maybe it's this theme. Okay, yeah. So we're going to have some very inconsistent theming going on. So have a look at this guy over here. This is your GNOME contacts. Look at this theming versus the file manager theming. I first noticed this, I think, looking at the system settings and loading up something else. So here's our system settings, falls on over there. Here's our calendar. Let's load up our calendar. This kind of falls over here. So you can see very inconsistent theming across the board. And I was noticing that no matter which theme I'm using. But curiously, actually, all of the themes change. So let's go ahead and load this up. Let's change some of the themes around again. Let's go back to, I think the default was maybe PearlY, was it? All right, so you can see here on the default. Now, these guys pretty much stayed the same, but the change over here basically is borrowing from PearlY is basically the Linux Mint theming, apparently. PearlY dark, PearlY darker. So basically they just borrowed all the Linux Mint themes, changed them just to say Perl instead of Mint. So active thievery going on. Hey, who doesn't involve themselves in active thievery? So here, again, very inconsistent theming across the board. Is this the one we were working with? Yeah, that's the one we were working with before. All right. So, what do we think? Well, I think that the system itself needs a lot of work. It's an impressive amount of work for what I think is a single developer team. We have a desktop that's a mishmash of different elements that's put together with some neat, interesting stylistic things. I mean, the way they've done their control manager is very nice. It's, you know, it's very cool. It's very Windows-esque. I'm not sure I'd call it Mac-esque as much. Maybe older Mac. The look of it, I don't know. To me, it looks a little bit more old and dated, coming from the guy that likes the older and dated look. The theming seems to be very inconsistent, and the amount of pre-installed software is staggering. There's some things on there like Wine installed by default that I'm not sure I really want to see on a system. The menu here, especially with how much stuff, a non-searchable basic start menu is very difficult to use, although they did give us this grid one here, which doesn't actually have English where it tells us where to search. Iber para buscar? I don't know. Is that, you guys let me know. I don't know any other languages other than English. I'm a dumb American. Remote desktop viewer. That's fun. Let's see if we can do changing. What's this guy? Just X? I don't know. Desktop preferences. We got some wallpapers to pick from. We have a number of nice looking wallpapers. There you go. There's one. So he's probably a Christian guy, so that's good. That's cool. Again, I'm not a huge fan of having the. I'm not a huge fan of having anything of any specific viewpoint on the distro, unless it's specifically billed as that. There you go. I would have liked this one here. Look at that's Linux inside. PearlOS. There you go. So this is actually for one of the other desktops, though. But anyway, overall, I think that it's. I think overall it's a large, very bloated system. A lot of little bugs in it. The theming is fairly inconsistent. And as of this one, this is the last one I could find with the Perl desktop, which looks to be. I'm not sure if he's going to continue working the Perl desktop. I'm not sure why I didn't do a 1910 or an 1804. Maybe he did. I missed it. That's a possibility. Overall, I think it's a neat little project. I'm not sure I'd specifically recommend it. Just there's too many extra things in here that I'm not sure make for a good user experience. The theming, the installation was okay. It was basically an Ubuntu installation, all based on Ubuntu stuff. So, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and shut this guy down. All right, because you created the YouTube channel on Linux. Very cool, man. Awesome. Go ahead and link your channel there if you want. Drupal is your main CMS of choice. I am not a Drupal fan, especially since Drupal in their next version is going to be cramming in Gutenberg in there too. Let's see. Atom. I've not used Atom for websites. I probably should. Mohammed Technology. Not sure what time you got here, but judging where your comment is, I think you got here just about the time I was starting to work, starting the actual main content of the video. Flat design, even 2010s, at least the more modern websites. See, PearlOS, I think. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. OS is based on Ubuntu. PearlOS and Slacks. Yeah. Want to work with Windows XP and wait 15 minutes for Firefox to boot up. Okay. Work on keeping global theming translations. Work on post-PearlOS patches. All right. Why not just theme your OS of choice to look like Apple? Yeah, actually, the person who recommended this one to look at actually did a really nice build based on Budgie, because Budgie, of course, has the control panel that, or the notifications and sidebar panel that's very much like Mac. And so adding that with the universal menu. Now, there's a problem with the latest build in the universal menu with Firefox. So he's looking into that. And the only other issue is the getting a decent dock. But a lot of people are using like Plank or Simple Dock. But if you go with Cairo Dock, you actually can get a Mac theme already there. And so you can go with traditional or newer versions. So I think an Ubuntu Budgie with Cairo Dock would probably take care of most of your Mac stuff. Okay. Perl isn't for you. It's not for me either. Have to quit it from in the game. Oh boy. Kill the pinball. Kill the pinball. Kill the pinball. Oh. If you're a Christian, the truth comes out. Wait, what? I don't think it's a mystery that I'm a Christian. He would love this distro. It's bloat. Well, they call it handbrake. What happens when your third world country catches you ripping your DVDs? Eek. Browser has less telemetry than Firefox. Yeah, okay, if you look at that article, Farron, that is the world's worst scientific study. That article's been going around, Brave phones home less. Read the protocol for the article. It's the most hilarious thing ever. They literally just downloaded browsers, did whatever it said to do by default, and then tried to see what it was doing. That is not a good study. If that is the type of stuff that's coming out in the terms of scientific study, the planet is screwed. And my spaceship is full. Okay, yes, whenever Firefox boots up, it starts checking for updates to extensions if one wasn't a power user. Yep. It's XFCE with a few other things. Control Center's control panel wannabe on the home page. Yep. I've not looked at PearlOS. It might be the same. He might be like, someone bought Pear. Let me do Perl instead. I don't know. is better in the respect that it's alive. Yes, it is alive. Jesus fan, that's a good thing. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I respect that. That's good. I'm just, just for the measure of consistency, I don't want to see religious links or stuff like that in a distro that has come out without specifically coming out from that standpoint. No, I mean, maybe if there's a lot of references to it on the website or whatever else, that's cool. And to be fair, too, there's multiple different Bible applications he could have installed, and he just installed that along with several other things, which, maybe he was just giving you a cornucopia of different software. So that's cool as well. So. Softpedia to download. Joined the stream very late. Missed all of it. Uh-oh. Adam in VS Code, edit website code bases. Yeah. Editor. For websites, I use Bluefish. Manjaro Budgie spin is broken. Yeah, that's sad. Bloat Supreme. Possibilities, though. Yeah, literally all he needs to do is fix the inconsistent theming stuff and pare down the software to the most important stuff, and it'd actually probably be a good distro. Quotes for the claim. Said it not me. If I were a Christian, huh? Oh, okay, I did, huh? Oh, no. Beta 1 was reviewed by Len Dukes. Which one? Michael Bean. Haiku OS. Even close to review or release after all these years? Yeah, I don't know. It's like React OS. Eventually, it might make it to post alpha. Hello, Dakota Jackson. How's it going there? Editors for videos. Caden Live. Hello, Steve. How's it going there? Vince uses olive too. I'll have to look at this olive. Someone casting out the olive branch to me, huh? Where's my list of things to look into? There's my list of things to look into. Okay, everyone's using olive on me. All right. Olive oil. All right. Well, there's PC Linux OS. Interesting distro. Let's see. So there's 1804. Do we want to have a look at Cinnamon? Actually, yeah. Let's go ahead and boot up this other version here. So this is the one that is the PearlOS Pro. It has Cinnamon and Mate options. There might actually be an XFCE in here as well. The Oyster is making the Pearl. All right, let's see. I get Haiku installed on my older Acer 32-bit netbook, and it's fast. Still not usable from my standpoint as a daily OS. Never making time for live streams. Is there a specific time where the stream starts? 12:30 is the Saturday stream, 12:30 Eastern time. Wednesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. I stream on my Christian channel at 9 p.m. on Thursdays, and Friday's news at 9 p.m. All right, so here we have the Mate, we have the Kodi, of course, we have Cinnamon. So I think the Mate is definitely more Mac-esque. So let's go ahead and log into this one. Right, Katie? Katie's down here like, yep. All right. Oh, look at this. We have his last history. Apparently, no, and this is where we get. So, configure directory for incoming files does not exist because I did not use Scott as my username. So let's do. This boys and girls is what's wrong with Compass. Yeah. It's very compelling look, though, isn't it? Let's load up something. Yeah, we got some issues. Houston, we have some problems. Get me out of this mess. Log me out. No. Oh, God. It disappeared. Where'd my terminal go? Ooh. I couldn't find the logout part. It was getting stuck. Let's try that again. Currently the cabin with Wi-Fi in the mountains. Very cool. Let's see. Whoa, look at that. On the reboot, we might have full screen that functions. But we'll see. Internet is almost always everywhere these days. Yep. All right. Hey, it looks like it functions now. All right. So this one actually resembles Mac to me a little bit better. Definitely has a more... It looks a little bit better as far as that. We're still getting the directory issue there. Not sure if everything's going to work. Here's Kaja. Now the theming, of course, looks consistent. Now our big question is going to be, is it going to have consistent theming across the board? So let's find something. Let's boot up, let's say Firefox, and let's boot up GIMP. Let's see if between Firefox and GIMP, let's see what the theming might look like here. So it looks like this version here, he has very good, very consistent theming. Maybe what we'll do is we'll redo the video with this theming here because it's definitely resembles it. It's also based on an LTS code base. So I think in all fairness to the guy, I might actually recut the video with this system here. We do still have the Mint Update Manager, which is good. And I think we probably still have a lot of bloat, but let's have a look. Not nearly as much stuff. This one's a much better system. Much better system. I don't think we have a good overarching... like a Mac-like application launcher, but everything else seems pretty decent. Go back into settings. So control panel, just your standard Mate control panel. Things are actually working correctly this time, so that's good news. Lot less bloat. Yeah, this one's definitely a much better build. I think I'm going to re-record the video when we're done with the live stream based on this one here. So much nicer. All right, well, there's that. Yeah, we'll re-record the video with that one. Oh, everyone at my work knows I'm a Christian, but I'm not in their face about it. Yep, makes for some interesting Friday discussions, but nothing insulting. Yep. And that's the way it should be. Come here, you. Where are you? Want some kitty treats? Want some kitty treats? Let's go ahead and feed the kitty. Feed the kitty. Feed the kitty. Feed the beast. Feed the beast. Oh, we got paw. We got face. We got paw. Oh, that's a half of one. I'll give him another one. There's one for this camera here. And we got to do one for this camera over here. Over here. This camera. Are the finger licking good? They are. They're finger licking good. Yes. They're finger licking good, aren't they, buddy? Huh. All right. Got to my part as a mild thunderstorm. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Whole state has come together to help. That's good, yeah. More like Mac clone, yeah. Seen Chris Titus Tech awesome configurations. I didn't see a specific configurations video. Complete waste of time comparing it to main Linux families. I'll play with the big boys. I think Farron goes hand to hand against the main Linux guys on a single developer, so wobbly windows. Yeah, I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna redo the video. That wobbly window effect on Peppermint. I think it is. You just need to install Compiz, but I don't remember for sure. After putting wobbly windows on a computer once, I was like, that's really cool. And then I found out really quickly it's really annoying. See you later, papas. Lunchtime, having moon pies for dessert. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up here, unless you guys want to see me recut the new version. Should we recut the new? Okay, you guys let me know. Want to stay on a little bit longer while I recut a new version, or should we end up now so I can just recut a new version without you guys? It's up to you. Give me your votes. And while you're giving me your votes, I'm going to jump on over and look at the Discord server, see how it's going on over there. Played Writing on the Wall, Shortcakes, but Shortcakes sung it in French. Be willing to listen to that, but I like AAC and FLAC as opposed to MP3s. Yeah, I use MP3s just because that's what everything uses, MP3s. By the way, fix the Windows VM. Oh, you put it in the trash can. My own web hosting server that I can use as a cloud-based service to file shares. So Discord is better for sharing, but even better, I have my own server. Yep. Local storage is always better than cloud-based storage. Yes. macOS is this. Old. Watching a live stream, Tom has technical difficulties with PearlOS. Like very bad technical issues. Oh, boy. PearlOS is still a thing. Yes, PearlOS is still a thing. All right, let's see. Stay on, stay. Think you re-record it live. Let's see some cutting. All right, recut the video. All right. Okay, that means, Kitty, you're going to have to move because I need to go way, 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 way back to the beginning of the video. Kitty's like, no, I'm sticking around right here, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and recut the video. So one of the things we might have to do is when I restart it, I might have to restart it, go full screen, and then reboot it again. I might have to do that. So we'll have a little bit of a lag delay there. I'm just going to keep it quiet for the purposes of editing when I get to that spot. But I think we are about set to go. Okay. Let's go ahead and recut the video. Let me fix all my cameras because the kitty cam. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, I had a supporter request to have a look at PearlOS OS. So he was looking for some Mac-like clones, and he did a really good job building him up a budgie one, but he wanted me to have a look at PearlOS as well. And so this was a supporter request, patreon.com/TomM or on thinklifemedia.com. So having a look at the website, the website is old, the website is bad, the website is not mobile responsive. And it does say latest update, August 2016. That's, I think, just the website. The distro itself is generally active development. The latest edition was Pantheon, just came out a couple months ago, based on the 1804, Ubuntu 1804 codebase. He does have his own desktop environment called Perl. I did find that the Perl desktop environment has a lot of problems. I would probably steer clear from that one for now. But it does have the nice Pro version, which has a Cinnamon build for those that want a more Windows-like feel, and it has a Mate build for those that want a more Mac-like feel. And so the website, like I said, does have problems. We have our user manual, which is a 404 page. Oops, manual not found. They do have a support forum, which is not super active, but who knows? It might be something worth having a look at. If you head on over to the Perl releases, you'll see where we have all of the different issues here. Now, we do have the latest Perl Pantheon 7.1 based on the Pantheon desktop. These are all Ubuntu 1804 codebase. There's a motion video based on Mate. I'm not sure what that one is. Now, this one here, the Pro, I'm not sure if things are just labeled incorrectly or whatever else, but this AMD 64, which should be your 64-bit version, if you click through on this, everything says 32-bit on this, including the downloads. I was able to install it, and I'm not sure if my virtual machine here will support 32-bit the way I have my system set up. So I think that really is 64-bit, but it's labeled wrong, I think. I did not try downloading the 32-bit. These are both the Mate and the Cinnamon. We do have a point release. There's some GNOME with Nemo. There's some basic GNOME, presumably Nautilus. I did also have a look at the Perl desktop environment. There are a lot of problems with this, with theming, massive amounts of bloat, and I think it was like a 3.5 gigabyte download versus the Pro one was quite a bit smaller. I don't remember off the top, but I can actually go and look that up real quick. So the Perl Pro was 1.6 gig. It does say 32-bit, but it does install on my 64-bit, so I don't know what it is. But anyway, let's go ahead and boot up the machine, and when we get the machine booted up, we will have a look at the desktop. DT, you missed the first part of the video where we had total 100% bloat. Where were you? All right. We're just going to wait for this to boot up, and then what I'm going to have to do is boot into it. I'm going to have to boot into it, reset the screen resolution, and reboot the machine. So we're going to do that real quick just to make sure that we get the best overall feel of this. So bear with me for a second, folks. If you're just jumping on, I did that to make sure that the system doesn't goof up because it did some goofiness. This will fix it. I hope. Okay, so here we are on the desktop. Now there are two desktop environments. We have a Cinnamon desktop environment if you want to go with a more of a Windows-like feel, and we have the Mate desktop. So we're going to go ahead and jump in onto the Mate first, and maybe we'll just go a little bit shorter, and then we'll jump over and have a look at what the Cinnamon looks like. So we're going to boot in over here because the original user requested I look at the Mac type clone version, and so let's see how well they were able to clone a Mac. So here we are on the desktop, and you can kind of see it does actually resemble modern Mac. The panel works very much like Mac. They're using the icons. He could have actually used more Mac-like icons. These are definitely Linuxy icons, except, of course, the Kaja there. We do have an issue where in his setup where he's mapping something to his original home folder, and since I did not use Scott for the computer name, we are getting a directory configuration issue over here. So that's an issue we're coming up with. So it is based on Mate here, but we do have the Linux Mint Update Manager, which is a nice feel. You can see the window theming up here. I think this is a little bit slightly older Mac. I don't remember my newer Mac running Yosemite looking much like that. But we do actually have a nice setup here in that the overall general layouts are similar. This is your basic settings panel, so we don't have quite of the configurations we had in the older Perl version, but that's all as well because the older Perl version just didn't work super well. A lot of theming issues, a lot of problems with that. We do have Firefox, we have Thunderbird, Shotwell, GIMP, AbiWord, OBS, SM Player. There's a dictionary, Kodi, GUVC view. Let's go ahead and boot up Firefox there. Our icons are not quite the Mac cursors, but they're pretty close. They're definitely more knockoff Mac. He does like the wobbly windows. That's one of the things he mentioned. So we do have wobbly windows. Woo! Up here, so our global menus are working well. So if you're looking for that type of feel from a Mac, you have that. Our difference between this and a Mac overall feel is we don't have an overall app launcher like Mac has. We have just this menu here by default, and it doesn't have a search function. Now, we don't actually have a lot of the bloat. There's still a lot of bloat for most of you guys, but it's not nearly as bad as the old PDE version had. We just have your basic tools. We'll have some basic tools from Linux Mint, like your USB writers and formatters, but we also have some Mate applications, of course, the calculator, the font viewer. We have Inkscape, GIMP, Shotwell, Simple Scan, Eye of Mate. We have Audio Bible. So the developer of this does appear to be a Christian. The older version had another Bible app in it. It wasn't an audio one. So I'm generally not a huge fan of including things like that unless it's a distro geared specifically towards that faith base. Now, I am a Christian, so I don't mind. But for someone who's not, may not want to see something like that in there. Just a thought. And since it's a general use, general purpose distro, I would say let the user install that rather than anything else. Overall, I did find that the theming on this one did work, which was a departure from the insanity of the old Perl desktop where the theming was inconsistent. Across the board, it looks like older Mac, but at least it's consistent throughout, so that's good. There might actually be other themes in here. Let's go ahead and have a look. Oh, look at that. We have a domain blocker. That's cool. See if I can remember where my look and feel happens to be in this desktop environment. So we have Perl Pro, we have PearlX. Now, a lot of these PearlXs are just borrowing from Linux Mint. That's what I've found they tended to do. Here's these ones. Oh, we got our green submarine. We all live in a green submarine. A green submarine. Oh, a green submarine. All right. Enough of that, right? So just a lot of different theming options in here. Nothing that's super brand new Mac, but also nothing that's horrible. This one's actually pretty close. Let's see if we have some consistent theming across the board. Let me boot up GIMP. Boot up the dictionary. So yeah, we are getting good consistent theming across the board in this version. So that's actually really good to see. So not an excessive amount of applications. Is there a software manager? System tools, we do have BleachBit. This is the downside of not having a search function. There's software and updates. Okay, we have Synaptic Package Manager. That might be the only package manager that we have. So as far as user friendliness for a new user coming in here and installing new software, it's going to be a little bit more difficult unless there's a software manager that I'm missing. But anyway, that's that. Let's go ahead and just boot into the Cinnamon real quick and just poke around. I don't want to shut down. I just want to log off. All right, let's log out. Let's have a look at what Cinnamon looks like. I can say, though, that the Cinnamon version did look better than that Ubuntu Cinnamon. It's cursory thought. All right, so here we are inside of our Cinnamon build. Which version of Cinnamon are we using? That would be neat to find out. At least here we can do some searching stuff. All right. Again, we're getting the error loading Scott's documents. Linux kernel's 5. Is that the one I just had? Okay, there we are. Cinnamon version 3.6. We are running an older version of Cinnamon on here. All right. Here's this. Here's our files. Terminal, Synaptic. So yeah, definitely looks like we probably don't have any other software manager. Oh, there's Perl featured software. All right, let's have a look at this. Sure, let's go ahead and update. So presumably this is also on the other system on Mate as well. I just wasn't able to find it, and it wasn't obvious. But because I had the search function, I could search for something. So let's see what this guy looks like. Okay, so we can install the AppGrid software that was on his old Perl version, or we can just go ahead and install some of the most common software over here. So, okay, that's not too bad. And there might be another software manager, like AppGrid is definitely a software manager. My guess is if we poke around here, we should be able to find some other ones as well. Let's go ahead and exit. Okay. Just want to pull up a few things, make sure our theming is consistent. So theming is consistent. He actually did do kind of like Windows 10-like theming. So on the Cinnamon, you have more of a Windows 10 kind of feel on the overall window border theming versus the Mac. on Mate. So that's an interesting take. So I don't know. There's my thoughts. So PearlLinux 7 definitely better on this version, PearlLinux Pro, versus the build that we saw on the PearlLinux desktop environment, which was kind of an abominable mess. But this is a system I could actually see myself using and trying and playing around with and seeing how it works. So definitely, if you want a OS that you can boot into more of a Windows type feel and a Windows Mac type feel, I would, based on looking at this one, I'd probably say this one's a little bit better shot than trying to run with the old Perl desktop environment. So good job, single developer. Please update that website, though. But anyway, there's my quick look at PearlLinux OS. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Chromium can update. I know, Chromium. That's because Linux is cooler than you. All right, let's see. Yeah, Anna Rita, I will not be going on fire today, so don't worry about it. Just reminds me of the Crapple OS. Kill it with fire. 70 and 70. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out of here and getting some stuff done outside. It'll be fun. All right, real question. Can it run Mac applications? No. All right. Still half-baked with that directory issue. Yeah. A wild DT has appeared. That's right. Elementary does look more Mac-like to me. Yeah, I think Elementary does look more Mac-like. Except I don't like the Pantheon dock, but other than that, Elementary does look more Mac-like. KDE equals Mac if you have 15 minutes to theme it. There you go. 15 minutes? Don't you mean like 15 hours? No, it's not that bad. Wobbly Windows, this is 2008. That's right, man. I put wobbly Windows on my one computer once. Oh, mistake. It was cool for a first day or two. It's like running Deepin. Deepin's really cool for the first day or two. And then it's just like, oh my lord. Why fake Mac OS when GNOME Shell is just better? Yeah, GNOME Shell, Global Menu, and Cairo Dock. There's your Mac build. I need an overpriced baby computer though, yeah. Unity still looks good in 2004. Global Menu is great, yeah. I heard Unity just got a new name change, I think. Some coffee and listen to YouTube. Yeah, coffee. Cheers. No, if Ubuntu, if Unity is maintained. I believe the guys at UB Ports took it over. That's what I've heard. You have Castro installed as dictator? On global menus, but almost never use them. Yeah, I'm not a fan of global menus personally, but hey, I like the option to use it for those that like it. Just found you. Enjoy the show. Let's keep on writing. Very good. Well, thank you, William. Thanks for coming along, man. Tiling window manager stack features. What's your Discord? I left the server by accident. I don't have it on this computer right here. It is on the other computer. So ask somebody over there to get it for you, and be kind. Install tiling Windows Manager. Yes, DT, do that. I'm not going to. Maybe someday I'll get into the tiling Windows Manager. One day when I have a few more minutes on my hand, I'll figure it out. Come on. Let's see. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up because it's 2 o'clock and I'm burning daylight, and the daylight's really nice out there and I want to get off. So we will catch you guys later. So we've already fed the kitty. So if you guys that jumped on late, we already fed the kitty. My apologies. But anyway, we will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, and have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day, and catch you guys later.